I want to first bring in Robert Murrett. He's a retired Vice Admiral in the US Navy, Deputy Director of the Syracuse University's Institute for Security Policy and Law. Great to talk to you tonight, Vice Admiral. Let me bring you some news while we're on air as I'm talking. So the International Maritime Organization, this is the UN's body, saying this: we are, quote, currently verifying to understand the details behind Iran's commitment on the Strait. We have teams watching Iranian TV saying this. The way it's being framed on Iranian state TV is, quote, a senior military official is talking about permission of the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard forces, before passage can go ahead. A brilliant day for the world, says President Trump. Given what you're hearing so far, how do you read this?
Well, yeah, Gavin, I think we all have to view both of the things you mentioned as positive developments, and we would hope that it is good to see that Iran is reopening the straits and making them available for freedom of navigation, notwithstanding what Washington's position might be at the moment. And also, as you alluded to, the meeting in Paris today with Prime Minister Starmer and President Macron and the 40 nations that are virtual attendees at this meeting for a long-term defensive mission to secure the straits and make them free and open is a positive step. So I think these are both in the right direction.
We've also heard from CENTCOM as well today, Central Command in the Middle East, talking about the position of mining the straits. Quotes, this is not a simple challenge. Just give us an expert in the field view of the strait itself, the kind of task ahead, not just for demining, but if there is going to be a post-war operation, what you would envisage.
I think that would be fairly straightforward, Gavin. And the Strait of Hormuz are a small enough area that they can be safe routes can be put through there for freedom of navigation in a fairly short period of time with assistance from a variety of countries because of the defensive mission that it represents. And to kind of step back from that just a little bit, I think it's also promising in terms of the noises we've been hearing from Pakistan and Washington and the Iranians in terms of cutting some kind of a larger deal, which seems to be the position of the White House right now, to remove any restrictions that the United States has on opening the Straits of Hormuz, which, in closing, I would mention, we should not forget that opening up the Straits of Hormuz is in everybody's interest, including the Iranians, but certainly all the nations that depend upon the trade coming through the SOH, and certainly the regional partners, the Gulf states and others that we're so close to.
When we heard last Sunday, Vice Admiral, from President Trump saying that there is this effectively a double blockade, a blockade on Iranian ports, which is still in place right now, and there was a lot of confusion about how it might work. And one of the issues would be that the reliance on China for buying its energy, its oil, and strangulation of its trade. Is this a chapeau moment for President Trump to some extent? Have they got the calculation, the calibration right here?
I think there's been a lot of emergent calculations that the administration has had to make since the campaign started, more than going back a month and a half now. Having said that, I think it's encouraging to see the noises that are being made by the principal actors, the stakeholders, and finishing. Where we are now is what I would describe as a tale of two truces. Your previous correspondent just had a really good report relative to where we are with Lebanon, and it's very good to see the Lebanese government stepping up and trying to get some additional deals in what's fraught in terms of their relationship with the Israelis and Hezbollah. At the same time, it's encouraging to see the noises that are being made in terms of lifting the United States blockade now that the Iranians have done it, and statements from the White House where they expect to see some kind of a finalized agreement, which will hopefully be longstanding here in the next few days.
We are seeing within this kind of flurry of Trump Truth Social messages, and to which a lot of world diplomacy relies on these first takes from President Trump, talking about the NATO, he said, being in touch about the Strait of Hormuz in a post-war situation, saying that they weren't there at the time, suggesting that he might not be interested this time. How essential do you see it that it is the US and this coalition of the willing working together here?
I think that's absolutely essential. I think it will have to be. I think that's, the maritime tactics, the maritime operational dimensions of this will also make it almost automatic or forceful, I would say, that the 40 nation coalition, the willing that the UK and France have taken the lead of putting together for defensive assurance relative to transiting in the Straits of Hormuz. It's going to have to be the United States' role in this. And these are navies that are very comfortable working with each other. I mean, people like me and so many of the others that are serving in the United States Navy now have had careers of close operational interaction at the tactical and operational with other Navy, NATO naval forces, and it's something we're very accustomed to. And the procedures that would be used for any such operation in the Straits of Hormuz are NATO procedures, which is what we use for any international coalition operation. So that would be that'd be a major force of physics as well, I would say.
When you look at the situation in terms of leverage right now, who do you think has the upper hand if talks perhaps proceed to Pakistan, the Iranian regime, or President Trump?
I would hope that it's about even. In all these kind of standoffs that we have for negotiations, you're always looking for one side to have more leverage than the other. The best kind of deals that are made diplomatically or in just about any other kind of situation is where both sides are equally unhappy, as we say it. And I think right now there's leverage on both sides, but it's certainly in the interest of both Iran and the United States and all the other partners we have in the region, specifically the Gulf states and so on, to have some kind of a arrangement that would extend the 2-week truce that we're in the middle of right now for a much longer period, and certainly in the interest of the international community to open up the Straits of Hormuz as soon as we can.
A brief thought, just listening to you throughout the interview, that dare I say there's a tone of optimism there that you feel that, to paraphrase you, and let me know if this is right, do you feel we are getting towards an off-ramp in this conflict?
Yeah, the noises that have come out of Tehran, Washington, Pakistan, China, even, and some of the Gulf states in the last 48 hours are quite different from what they were before then. And most of the noises we're hearing, and of course, Gavin, you have access to all the press reporting that I do as well. But the noises that we've been hearing from the key stakeholders in some of the capitals that I mentioned right now, there's kind of a shift in tone starting, like I said, about 2 days ago. And I think that has continued through the present day. And it's pretty clear that both Tehran and Washington want to cut a deal. And hopefully that'll be in the art of the possible. And I can see something along those lines happening in Pakistan or via some other arrangement here in the next few days.
Really good to hear your thoughts tonight. Thank you, Vice Admiral. Thank you, Vice Admiral Robert Murrett. Thank you for your time. The former US.
Enjoy chatting with you, Gavin. Good day.
Deputy Director of the Syracuse University Institute for Security Policy and Law.